Today on Inquirer. Former Senator Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. has been proclaimed as the 17th President of the Republic of the Philippines. Marcos Jr. was proclaimed at the Batasan Pambansa in Quezon City after the Congress, sitting as the National Board of Canvassers, concluded its canvassing of votes for the presidential and vice presidential race. Marcos Jr. garnered more than 31 million votes.
I promise you that we may not be perfect, but we will always strive to perfection. I ask you all, pray for me, wish me well. I want to do well because when a president does well, the country does well, and I want to do well for this country.
His running mate Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte-Carpio also won the vice presidential race with more than 32 million votes. Lawyer and radio commentator vlogger Rose Beatrix Trixie Cruz-Angeles has been named as the head of the Presidential Communications Operations Office under the administration of Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Attorney Vic Rodriguez, Marcos's chief of staff and incoming executive secretary, said Cruz-Angeles has accepted the offer to serve as the head of PCOO. As the PCOO chief, among the tasks of Cruz-Angeles is the conduct of regular press briefings to media practitioners covering Malacanang activities. A teenage gunman murdered at least 19 children and 2 teachers after storming into an elementary school in Texas. The carnage began with the 18-year-old suspect shooting his own grandmother, who survived, authorities said. He fled and crashed his car near the Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. There, he launched a bloody rampage that ended when he was killed, apparently shot by police. The motive was not immediately clear.
As a nation, we have to ask, when in God's name are we going to stand up to the gun lobby? When in God's name we do what we all know in our gut needs to be done?
The Department of Transportation on Wednesday announced that its Libreng Sakay program for the Metro Rail Transit Line 3 is extended until June 30.
Yung ating po kasing extension ay number 1 is I think yung po ang ating pangangailangan para isaayos natin yung testing capacity natin, and at the same time yan din po yung ating eventually last day po ng ating panunungkulan din sa Duterte administration.
According to Kapati, the free ride program was also extended to help ease the riding public's financial burden amid inflation and rising fuel prices. The Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas is taking full responsibility for the men's national basketball team's disappointing silver medal finish in the 31st Southeast Asian Games in Hanoi, Vietnam. In a statement, SBP President Al Panlilio apologized to the fans and took full responsibility for the results of the 31st SEA Games campaign. Panlilio vowed that the national team will bounce back. Gilas Pilipinas' dominance in SEA Games men's basketball tournament came to an end after succumbing and yielding the gold medal to Indonesia. It was the first silver medal of the men's national basketball team since 1989. And that's the latest news today. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. I'm Denisa Fernandez.